Howdy lovelies, how are you all doing? Welcome back to our crafting, where we learn, grow and craft together. In today's session, we are going to make some tickets, some vintage looking tickets. Now in a previous session, I've showed you how to make your paper look vintage. Yes, the first step is coffee dye, tea dye, and thereafter you can take it one step further and add more coffee, tea, or even some inks to your paper. Now you can go to the extreme and sandpaper your paper to get that really vintage worn look. You can use the side of a pair of scissors. All of those techniques are helping to get your paper to look more vintagey. So let's dive right into it and make some vintage looking tickets. I've grabbed some of my paper that is already tea dyed, coffee dyed. I've got one that was avocado dyed, which is this pink paper. Yes, avocado dye is another thing that you can do. You take the peel of the avocado, scrape out all the flesh. If you don't want to do that, if it's too much hassle for you, you just have to strain it afterwards. Otherwise, you will have all that mud on your paper. You don't want that. It will rot in the end. So just strain it, the pit. You boil all of that about, I don't have that many avocados. I will keep mine, even if it turns brown, it doesn't matter. Keep it in the fridge for a little bit. And then when I have the second skin and bit of an avocado, I will boil the whole lot together in about 1.5 cups, 2 cups of water, about 20 minutes, boil it for 20 minutes, strain it just through a tea strainer and use that warm solution to dip my paper. Now you can see there's some ink on this side. Yes, it touched when I was doing some ink smooshing. Doesn't bother me at all. It just helps the aesthetic of the paper or the look that you want eventually. So let's do the big reveal of my papers. Nothing serious, nothing. Wow, I just did some ink smooshing in 2 colors, different layers. I've done vintage photo. Yes, I always do vintage photo. And then I let it dry and I add a second layer of vintage photo. You can see there's some darker spots. And then I go in with a little bit of walnut stain. And those are those much darker blobs. I did not do ground espresso, I think, with any of these. I can't even remember, because when I do this, I do it all at one time. You know that I like to get things ready for when I want to craft. So this is just vintage photo. I think there might be a tiny bit of walnut stain in here if I look at it. Just ink smooshing, that was it. And there we have that beautiful part of the coffee dye. This blotch here was from the coffee, and then the rest is just ink. I think this is also coffee. You can see the coffee stains there. And then this one has got a whole lot more walnut stain on it than it has got vintage photo in the background. And you can see there's really some dark spots there. Those are from the coffee. There are finer details there that you can see. This one is that avocado, and you can see this is now the beauty of the distress range. I have used vintage photo with some walnut stain, and you can see I normally use my cellophane packaging material to do the ink smooshing on, and I had not mixed my ink and water well, so it's got that influence of where I actually dabbed the ink pad on the cellophane on there. But the rest of it is it's not bothering me. It's really not bothering me. If it's bothering you, remember just to whirl the water and the ink around so that you don't have those little marks still on your cellophane. But there we have it, and it looks as if there's a bit of purple in there, and I have not put any purple here. But let's get started. I've got a few stamps. Some of them are no-name brand stamps, so I cannot tell you what stamp range it is. The ones that I still have in the packaging, I can tell you. I must say, for many years, I just shoved all my stamps in one drawer. So I took it out of their packaging, and it's mostly, this is just one of those Tim Holtz sets that's right next to me, which would be like this. I know this is Tim, but Tim sets, Stampers Anonymous Tim sets from the mixed media, Tim Holtz mixed media sets, which has got a stencil and stamp set. But this is how I would have stored my stamps. So if I didn't know this was Tim's set, I couldn't have told you that now. So I am sorry to say I've got a few, and I will show you the ones that I will use today. This is a set from Finnebear, old paperwork, and I will be using that. So we've got that stamp set, because guess what? It's still in its packaging. And then I've got some that is obviously French, from DTM. I can't even pronounce that. Something crystal, timbre crystal. I don't know. I cannot speak French, so please forgive me. I might not use this set, but I can use these ones. And there are some, these ones are upside down. It's obvious that I've taken it out already. That looks like a little frame. There's a little ticket. I wanted to put this together with the others. And then, of course, there's some that looks like labels and things that we might be using. Might be. But then my big concern are my stamps that I can't tell you where they're from. And this is how I store them. It's in this plastic container. I used I don't say you should do the same thing. This works for me, especially when I am doing making tickets, and I've got all my stamps together. Now there's one that just fell off, but it's fine. We will grab it now. And that's how I store mine. So let's get started. We're going to make some tickets. Might not make or do all of them on camera, but we will definitely make good progress. So I'm going to use Archival ink. Maybe I should just move my stamps to the left side. It will be easier to grab them that way. And I'll get a stamp block, and I'll be working on here. This was a piece that I have torn from a book that I salvaged. You can see made in China, and there's some Arabic writing on there because I've got it here. So it's quite a sturdy piece of cardstock, thicker than copy paper, but not thick cardstock. So I'll be using that. And because I already have the ink smooshing that has gone on this page, I am, oh yeah, and this page was not coffee dyed at all. The others were, or avocado dyed for that one. This one was just plain. So I've got black Soot here, Archival ink black Soot, and of course vintage photo. Let's start maybe with some, yeah, let's pick a stamp. Will this one fit on here? Barely, but it will. Now you can take some time and color your different areas. I don't have that time. I also don't have the small ink daubers that we can add that type of detail on. So I'll just do this. And yes, maybe not the best idea to stamp on other paper because we need this level. Leave yourself some space that you can still cut this out and just stamp your ticket. What can be easier than that? I will do another one just so that I have about 2 of these. Yes, we can use this very often in our craft projects, but I also love to send these off in happy mails to fellow crafters. There we go. So I've used that one. I'll just keep it one side. If I don't keep track of it, I might just stick to one type of stamp and I might not get to all of them. Now some of this might not be a complete ticket. I'll keep on stamping with black for the meantime. This one says destination, but it looks so cute, especially on the ink smushed background, sorry to say. How is my tongue twisting so much today? It is so hot. So let's just do 2 at a time. And let's grab another one. I really cannot tell you the stamps. As I told you, I really don't even know where they come from. This one is upside down, but it's fine. Once we cut it out, we can simply turn it around. If you don't have ticket stamps, you can make your own by using individual stamps and bold your own tickets. I have shown you before how to do that in one of my, I'll just put this back because otherwise it will be a big guess where to put it type like exercise and get them all to fit yet again. And yes, I need to start seeing what's going on here. Maybe this one is a long one. There's an another admit one. Tickets can easily be added to any type project. This one is upside down as well. Not a train smash. Once we cut it out, you can turn it over. And that looks, I think, amazing. So I'm going to just move this so that I can get closer to this. Let's get another one. What do I want? A bigger one maybe? That can fit in there. I'll do a few in round espresso as well, so that it is quite dark. You can go lighter, you can go in different colors ink, such as red and blue and dark green, purple. You can do a dark purple as well. Awesome. I'll do, I think, 3 of this one, as it can still fit in here. We'll just turn it on its side. And there we have it. I will just do 1 more page, and I think I'll grab that avocado dyed one with a few more. Not going to cut this on camera, so the fuzzy cutting will be done off camera, but you get it. So there we have that. So I'll just close the black ink, move to a different color ink. Now we've got, is this one fitting in here? Barely. But we've got that sheet now. Let's move to the avocado dye. This is a cardstock. Remember, paper don't have a memory, so Just bend it, curl it a little bit so that it can go flat. Ink. This is a gamble to stamp on your project because I can drop the ink pad any minute. Will be totally unforeseen. I just want to move this up somehow, or just turn this over the stamp so that you can see. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love it. And you can go in and you can add more. Now the beauty of this is, let's just do another one of this and I'll show you what I mean. I'll just take the dropper with my own coffee that's standing here. Now this is Archival ink, so it won't react with the water, the fluid in the coffee. So you can maybe drop a bit there. And I had some blue in here, so my coffee is now this milky color, and I drink black coffee. So you can absolutely add more to this. I can't drop this back in my coffee now. Oh, that will be awful. I must just soak this dropper in a bit of water so that I can get that oxide ink out. And I'm just going to, and there's a little bit more. Now I'll do this again. Maybe just a drop of coffee on there. That's better. Do you know how many times I have put a paintbrush into my coffee cup? I used to grab a coffee cup to just put my paintbrushes in afterwards, and that stopped when I one day actually tried to drink that paint water or paintbrush water. It was quite awful, I must be honest with you. Let's see, did I do this one already? I'm now not so sure I did. Let's try this one. Really not sure whether I did or not. But we will find out. Even if we have doubles, it's not an issue. So while that coffee is drying a bit, we will keep on stamping. Just leave a little bit of space so that you can actually cut it afterwards. That helps. 2 at a time, and soon you have quite a few. I just want to turn this over so that I can maybe, I don't know why I've put this one there. This is definitely not a ticket. This is a postcard. So as I was telling you, I started sorting my stamps some time ago, and I can tell you it works much better for me since I started sorting it, because that way I can actually keep the type together. But of course there's a postcard, so it will just go to the postage folder, which has got the postage stamps, faux postage stamps, and the postcards in. I'm going to do another one just because it fits in there, and then I know this part is done. Now I will continue with the rest of my stamping off camera, and of course I will continue and cut this out, but I just thought this is a good thing to show you how I use my papers then to make my tickets and things like that. So with this one, I'll just cut this out. There is now a vehicle's alarm in the street that's going off. So there we have that, and this one's. Now, it's easy. Remember, when we fuzzy cut, we actually move our paper, and I'll show you what I mean with that. I like to cut away the bulk first. You can do it a bit rounded. You can go in and do the inking straight away. If you don't want those edges, you can cut it off, which is what I prefer, not to have that. With the ones that are straight, it's so much easier. You can see exactly where the lines are. And that's all there is to it. And yes, you don't have to do it all at the same time. You can maybe stamp one day, and then as you maybe sit and watch television, or you in between making meals or something, you can then sit and cut these out. That one is almost dry. You can see it's so much softer there because it is right on that. I would just want to also show you how I then go in and just add a bit more color, just a tiny bit more. I think I should just stop with the cutting for the moment and show you how I do that. Let's do this. There's two more, but we'll just use these ones that I had cut out already, and I can in fact show you with the rest of this as well. I just want to move this out of the way so that this is not bothering me. Into the dustbin with that. Now with the sheet like this, you can go in and add a bit more color if that's what you want. You don't have to, but sometimes it's nice to have that. Or you can simply go in and, like always, just ink the edges. And there you have your beautiful tickets, ready to add to any of your projects where you would want to. This one is still a bit wet where I added the coffee. And yes, don't worry, I'm a teacher, I'm used to drinking cold coffee. So even though I'm busy filming, I do have my coffee, and I will have that afterwards. Hence why I could use some coffee to add to the tag. There, and you can maybe add a bit of color. Let's do with this one also. And of course, you can crumple it up, and then it really looks old and really authentic looking. I love the look of that. And then I'll just go in and just make sure I ink that up, and look at that. Total different look. Total different look. So that's how I make my tickets. I do hope that you have found this useful and that you will go try for it yourself. Give it a go. Try making your own. If you don't have stamps, you can literally bolt up stamps. Let me just see if I have one here. I had done some time ago. A few. I don't have it here now. I think I already used it or gave it away. I'm sorry. I don't have that example anymore. But it would have been perfect to show you that now. And I still have it around here. But there we have these different ways to maybe really make it look very old. You can really scrunch it up. I wouldn't, after I colored it, add water to it, but maybe before the time, soften it up, crumple it up, and there you have it. Now it really looks like a very rusty, old ticket. Thank you for joining me. Go try this for yourself, and please tag Wobble Crafting on social media if you do. If you want to see more content like this, give me a thumbs up. I'll be appreciating it if you subscribe to my channel too. If you haven't done so yet, please hit that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I upload new content. See you back soon. Goodbye.